Ephesians, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1. I therefore, the prisoner of the outer one, beseech you that ye walk worthily of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love. I'd like to give all prayers and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, the Wadi Abashim Yahushua for giving us the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who deserve the honors, rightfully so. Shalom to the Akim. Stand by. Shalom to the Akim, pushing his word in sincerity and in truth, and being faith-based, and being prepared for what is to come. And what is to come? Race wars, famine, concentration camps, starved Egypt, the mark of the beast, 200 million missiles hit the slaves of America, simultaneously the children of the Lord, the hopeful left into the chambers, simultaneously the children of the Lord shooting laser beams at the ungodly and the heathens. Rightfully so. Hey, Albert Zidle. Lord, take the course of this video. Just a vessel seeking salvation out of this filthy place, spiritual, known as Sodom, Gomorrah, Egypt, Babylon, and all other filthy customs they have taken upon. Right now the time is 10:26 p.m. Wednesday, August 27, 2025, the hopeful year by deliverance and destruction and judgment on our Shashua. A few things came to my mind. I wrote this out about the course of this video. Just I had some verses running through my mind. Well, actually, these words. The first word that came to my mind was humble. So the famous verse dealing with that is being humble, and the Lord will exalt you due time. Just saying in the name of terms. And that's what happens. Yahweh Shah will give you the increase. Salakia. So these days, and this thing about was humility, being humble is a must. And this thing about was being humble is a must. It's like a key factor to this thing. Because we're just lambs. We're not, and we are worms. These are things that we are, it tells you to be harmless as a dove. We are doves and wise as a serpent. And being wise as a serpent means you have to make the right decision at all costs. And you're gonna find those individuals they want to push your buttons. They want to see you, because Satan jumping on them. The spirit world is active. Okay, the spirit world is active. You ain't gotta see that. The spirit world is to see everything, hear everything, know what's going on. It's active. It plays a lot on this side. So a lot of individuals you're looking at, you might be having a greater audience on one person, because the word legion means many. So I am legion because we are many. So you might have a greater audience. You don't know who these individuals, what they got going on in their mind. They're not gonna just come out and tell you. So you're gonna have to deal with people accordingly. Especially dealing with the brotherhood too, because we're coming out in this world, and we're gonna have to soothe each other with these loving words in the scriptures, and that's what we do. We are prisoners of Yahweh Shah, and by us being prisoners of Yahweh Shah, what is the prisoners to do for the warden, right? What is a warden? Let me see. This jumped in my mind. So here. The meaning of the word warden.
Warden.
A person responsible for supervision of particular place or thing, or for in yeah, you almost had it. But that was powerful. Okay, just want to let the secretary say it. Hey, I ain't say I was smart. I just said I'm being guided. Yeah, I truly believe I've been guided, man. Like things on my mind. That's why man's going is not of his own. You know?
A person responsible for the supervision of a particular place or thing, or for ensuring that regulations associated with it are obeyed.
There you go. That's a warden. So our I don't want Yahweh Shah is our warden. So he's responsible for us. And he left us the responsible um for the righteousness, the righteous things that go on the earth. He ran it. We didn't run through the ringer of wickedness. All right. That's the observation that came upon when we got in this thing of ours, and being able to see that humbled us. That we was given these responsibilities. You know, that's what it said. I'm just utilizing words that just came to my mind. All right. That we was given this responsibility to be able to be right. Let's go back real fast. What this verse just said? Let's hold on. We was given the responsibility to do this, which was phenomenal, very phenomenal. All right. It says, I Ephesians chapter 4 verse 1. I therefore the prisoner of the Lord Yahweh Shah beseech you that ye walk worthily of the vocation wherewith ye are called. So we was called to this thing of ours, and to know all these things that what we got to endure here, it humbled us, man. I know I've been humbled. And I ain't gonna say I was doing like I was boasting myself in the world, but just the point, like this now I understand why I was the way I was in the world. You know, I didn't conduct myself how other people was doing things. You know, people would do things, and then I would think, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? You know, certain things like that, bro. So, um, we was, and after the things we have done wrong, and knowing that we effed up in this world, it humbled us that we still was called to do a job. We are prisoners of the warden. We have a job to do for the warden. He's responsible for us, and he left us job. He left us to be responsible for others, and we have to conduct ourselves in that manner because he did it for us. Because he called us. Right? Hold on, let's see what else we can get with this real fast. All right, I want to see what this word vocation means. Hold on, let's go into here real fast. All right, procedural means bag, vocation. And I'm probably saying it wrong, but let's see. This is what it says in Greek.
Strong's G 2821. Klesis. Klesis.
Klesis. Let's see. A calling to, call, invitation to a feast of a divine intervention to embrace salvation of Yahweh El Shah. Wow. So we've been called to this, we've been summoned to this, just with this invitation. And we have our invitation to this marriage, right? And to be doing the duties. Ecclesia, we've been called ecclesios, right? Which is phenomenal. It really is. It's some serious stuff, bro. Like when you find this out, you be like, what the? Yeah, for me, when I first heard it, I broke down in tears, man. I said, I've been humbled, and that's what you gotta get this at. You gotta if this you gotta be broken down to the smallest compound, and be rebuilt. Don't know how that verse go. As new babes, is that the verse how it goes? Hold on. As new babes, Bible verses, King James Version. Something like that. Yeah. Here you go. Let's look here. Oh, really? It says, hold on, let's see what this is. Let's go to the chapter real fast. Okay, it's right there. Uh, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisy and envy and all evil speaking, as newborn babes desiring the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So we gotta become babes, man. You know? That's what happened. We've been broken down in a society that we have to learn how to endure with long suffering. That's what the scripture said a minute ago. Right? And we have to endure, we have to judge accordingly in the society. So we was given a job. Man, like would you have seen this? Like, oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it like coming out of the world, and I saw it like, oh, I knew what I was doing. I know what I'm doing. Nah, I'm humbled more every day because I truly believe every time I do a video, it was given to me to do the video. Every time I make a move and how I conduct myself with people, that was given me to act like that, to do those things. A man's going is not of their own. That's the scriptures that says that. So we've been broken down because when we heard that veil, oh man, I always think about this verse. Every time I think of it, I can't think of how it words. Next time I get that verse, I'm gonna write it down 100 times. That spiritual veil was pulled off our head, and when we saw all the things we have done, that's when we looked at ourselves. We said, "What the f? How am I gonna, how am I gonna make it out of here?" And then what? He said, "This is your chance." These are things I heard. Here's your chance. Don't fuck it up. Okay, that's what I heard. You running around. I remember like yesterday. I was running around after I was down. That was the week. That was the week. All right. That and I was coming down there to 34th Street, and that week it was like a big commotion. That Saturday, it was a big commotion. I remember it was people got hands put on them. All right. I remember like yesterday, and then it was like so much happened. Like during that following week, during that week, I was like, man, I got this. This is the way, man. Like I was convinced. Like I was like, oh man, because it was so I felt the spirits, but they was active, man. That day, bro, the spirits was active outside, and all hell broke loose so fast, and it was because of words, bro. It wasn't because like we was this like we, the words came out the book, bro, and that was it. You saw it. And then that next week, that's when I was like, oh man, I need this, I need it, and that was that week. That same day, it was like, all right, here's your chance. Don't fuck it up. All right, I called you. That's the spirit. That's the spirit Yahweh Shah said. Yeah, I called you. Here's your chance, and don't fuck it up. Because I was humbled. I was everything. I was, as this little one, this was going down, and we here. It's all right. Everything was falling into place, and that name was so important. The name of Yahweh Shem Shah was so, it grew so much in my mind that it's phenomenal right now. That's all I know. I say the name every day. I say the name every day. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Shah Dash. And it magnified too. That's how you know. If you magnify, like when the decree went out, when it said, we always saying, Shalom Yahweh Shem Shah. Barakathum, we always say that. And then we sue each other, right? Then when they magnified, when we said Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shah Hashem Dash, Barakathum, when we that's when it magnified, because we added the Lashwan, we added Rakab Kodash, which is spirit, Holy Spirit, Spirit Holy. That magnifies because we had to add that in for the reason because the spirit is active. The spirit is doing the work of Yahweh Shem Shah. These angels up and down, back on both sides, the spirit world. We got the demons active. We got the spirit, the angels on the right hand side active. It's active. That's how you get your information. Because they catching your prayers, they hearing your thoughts. I just read that yesterday. That one verse. I just read this one verse. All right, let's open it in a tab. I just saw this verse yesterday. Just the spirit, because what else? That was 5. I'm sure it was 5. It was one verse. Fire too, just phenomenal. Here we go. Revelation chapter 5, verse 8. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. These are the angels, having every one of them harps, a golden vial, filled of the odors, which are the prayers of the saints. They was doing their job. The saints was doing the job of Yahweh Shem Shah. They're prisoners of hope too. They're prisoners too. Right. And they sang a new song because now they was right there when the king completed the mission. Yeah, he did it. Man, can you imagine seeing the first spirit made and then you after him and then you got all this glorious power around you? This is what they experience. That's what's that? How you say that? When they came down on the spaceship and they landed on the aircraft carrier, and then they came out the spaceship and they look like they'd never been defeated. Those are those men that surrounded Yahweh Shem Shah. That's the powerful bodies that's up there. That's the because we left our first estate, which is those bodies. We down here in this body experiencing everything in the weak form, like our king did. Our king was made humbled. He had to come down here and be as one of us. That's level up right there.